Hello, and welcome to another educational game review. Today we are going to review Academy Adventure. It was recently released in May 2019 and is the first and for now the only massive multiplayer online game set up in an educational theme. Academy Adventure, it's a 3D game, adventure type game. You need to click or use the WASD keys to move your little character. I believe currently is available for PC and mobile devices, Android and iPhone, but I never use those versions. So I'm gonna focus this review to the PC version. In Adventure Academy, you need to interact with different non-player characters to get quests. Some of the quests will involve collecting objects through the world, and other quests will involve actually doing activities in the academy. In Adventure Academy, you have multiple things to do. The first and most obvious are actually using the gold that you acquire through the quest to actually purchase different appearances and furniture for your little home base. Other things that you can do is actually make some friends. There is a friendship system here. It's pretty basic, but you can after play with them and do some small interactions, nothing too complicated. There is also a global chat available, so you can actually speak with others and have that perception that you are playing in a living world. The game is actually composed by 3 different areas. The academy, where you have the bulk of your education done, the marketplace, where you actually can purchase various different things like clothes and items that you can use for quests. There is also an auction system where you can sell your own items for coins, and the neighborhood, where I didn't go to there, but based on the user interfaces logs, seems like you can actually have your own little home and decorate it using furniture. Inside the academy, you can find multiple different types of activities. The most obvious and where there is the most amount of content is the kiosk. To be frank, I was overwhelmed with the kiosks. There is so much content that I couldn't really choose what to do. It's divided in 4 main categories: English language arts, mathematics, science and health, and social studies. And the activities are classified in multiple types. You can read small little books, you can read comics, you can play games, and you can do small little puzzles. You can even filter the activities by difficulty, and to be frank, the advanced level it's okay. I mean, you can deal with concepts like gravity and force, which if you've been a while since you studied high school, it can be refreshing, but unfortunately the content delivery method is really sparse and pretty slow if you are not a little kid. Also, the way that they expose all this content, it's really random, and there is no real incentive to do one activity or another. I wish that instead of just exposing all together, there is some sort of more limited track and even some sort of profile system that tells you how proficient you are based on the activities. Also, the activities could be more challenging or have some sort of system to adapt to your level. Some of the challenges, they do rate you, but most of them are pretty basic and it's not really challenging. Like, there is only one real level of challenge in this. Besides the activities on the kiosk and through the different halls of the academy, you can find information panels, which are small educational resources that explains small things like, hey, what is the African lion? Or what is a level? And after explaining you this, they will ask you a little trivial question. Answering this will grant you with some coins and XP. It's a nice little feature for those who want to just roam around the academy and do these little information panels. So let's review the different categories that I usually rate this educational game. The first category is going to be polish. polish represents everything from the graphics to the sounds and the overall perception of the game, how well done the game was put together. Now, for being an educational game, it's actually pretty polished. The 3D assets, they are not the worst. I mean, they look okay and they are not like huge differences between the models. And the music, even repetitive, it does the job. You can even hear sound effects here and there through the academy, making the actual game a pretty immersive game. So for polish, the only part that I didn't like too much was the academy kiosk activities. Seems like Age of Learning reused a lot of the content that they exposed in ABC Mouse games, and they just put it over there, making the games not really connected with the experience of the academy. Because of this, I decided to award a 5/10 in the polish aspect, which is an okay. The second category is gameplay, and this is probably the category that frustrates me the most. I really wish that there was a better profile system that will tell you, hey, how good a scientist you are, how good a mathematician you are, or English speaker. Another thing that kind of frustrates me is how the educational content is just dumped in front of you and it's not really tracked through some sort of, hey, English track, and you can pace yourself. Also, within the educational content, it will be nice that the mini games, they will teach you on the go and detect your level and basically randomly select items that an algorithm thinks that is correct for your kind of answer. So if you are doing pretty well, it will just tell you that the next activity will be like a very hard quantum physics activity. If you're doing not so good, you should do something more simpler, etc, etc. So for the gameplay, I'm gonna give a 4/10. I think it's the category where they can really improve. And lastly, for the educational content, the game is pretty filled and there is a lot of educational content here and there. Unfortunately, the content is really basic and the way they deliver it, there is not like an option to skip it or make it faster. You have to dig into it, making it really, really good for small kids. But if you have a really smart kid or you're an adult like me, it's not so great. When I'm factoring the score, which is a 6/10, still high content, but not well delivered. Thank you very much for watching the video, and please, if you enjoy it, please comment. If you have any comments, if you disagree with my scores, or you just want to point out some extra sections that I missed in the review, yeah, please go ahead and comment. I'm really, really, really looking forward for your feedback.